In this video, which is the second part of hemorrhage and hypovolemic shock, we will start by a stage of decompensated shock. In decompensated shock due to severe prolonged shock and hypotension, vascular collapse with poor response to treatment or care. Due to what? Due to prolonged tissue hypoxia. The cells in between the capillaries suffer from prolonged hypoxia. This leads to anaerobic metabolism of tissues with release of excess acidic metabolites and lactic acid. These acidic metabolites and lactic acids lead to capillary dilatation and the stagnation of blood in the peripheral circulation, leading to dilatation of capillaries. The pores between the endothelium becomes wide with increased permeability of capillaries, leading to transudation of plasma into the extracellular fluid, with more depletion of blood volume and more hypotension and increased blood viscosity in the capillaries. Due to filtration of plasma outside the blood vessels, there is increased viscosity of blood vessels, leading to DIC, which is disseminated intravascular coagulation. This leads to depletion of coagulation factors. Depletion of coagulation factors leading to spontaneous diffuse hemorrhage all over the body, with more depletion of blood volume, leading to vicious circle. More depletion of blood volume, leading to more hypotension, more shock, more hypoxia, more acidic metabolites, etc. Also, tissue acidosis. Due to lactic acid and acidic metabolites, there is tissue acidosis, which interfere with cell membrane function and interference with cell membrane function leading to loss of intracellular potassium. Intracellular potassium comes out from the cells, leading to hyperkalemia, and hyperkalemia may lead to cardiac arrest. And the extracellular sodium enter into the cells with excess water, leading to cellular edema. Cellular edema leading to rupture of lysosomes. Rupture of lysosomes leading to liberation of destructive proteolytic enzymes with cellular destruction. This is a decompensated shock. Then there is refractory or irreversible shock. Refractory means resistant to treatment. Due to persistent hypovolemia, the condition becomes unresponsive to treatment, and the condition ends by fatal multiple organ failures. Multiple organ failures in the heart, cerebral failure, renal failure, liver failure, pulmonary failure, and GIT dysfunction. First of all, in the heart, the myocardial contractility is impaired with decreased cardiac output, decreased cardiac contractility and decreased cardiac output, and decreased coronary blood flow, leading to hypoxia, acidosis, and there is release of cardiac depressants. All these factors due to decreased coronary blood flow, hypoxia of myocardium, acidosis due to excess lactic acid and acidic metabolites in the circulation, and release of mediators and the cardiac depressant leading to cardiac arrest. Due to severe hypotension and the impairment of tissue perfusion, This leads to acute renal tubular necrosis. And there is cerebral ischemia and cerebral dysfunction, liver ischemia and liver dysfunction, and pulmonary. Pulmonary is leading to adult respiratory distress syndrome and respiratory failure. Simply, adult respiratory distress syndrome is due to increased capillary permeability and the transudation of plasma into the tissue spaces. This occurs in the lung, leading to severe pulmonary edema, which interfere with gas exchange, and this is called adult respiratory distress syndrome, leading to respiratory failure. The GIT, due to prolonged GIT ischemia, ulceration of mucosa in the stomach and the duodenum, leading to stress ulcer, and may lead to hematemesis. Due to prolonged GIT ischemia, the gut barrier is destroyed. There is dysfunction of the gut barrier. The gut wall form a barrier between the luminal microorganism and the luminal toxins and the external environment. Due to gut barrier dysfunction, invasion of microorganisms from the bacteria and their toxins into the circulation, leading to multiple organ failure. All these multiple organ failures represent the end of the condition, which is death. Sure, the main complication of hypovolemic shock and hemorrhage is multiple organ failure, which lead to death. What is the clinical picture of acute blood loss? The clinical picture of acute blood loss is this. What is this? First of all, there is evidence of the cause. Example, in acute blood loss, there is wound with hemorrhage, evidence of hemothorax, hemoperitoneum, etc. And manifestation of hypovolemic shock. The essential feature is hypotension, especially during standing or sitting, because due to hypotension, the blood cannot pass against gravity. Therefore, there is hypotension, especially during standing or sitting. And there is weakness, sense of weakness with tendency of fainting, especially during standing. During standing, the blood cannot reach the brain. The patient feels cold, and there is hypothermia, and there is water, there is thirsty, and there is reflex due to catecholamines and sympathetic overtone. There is increased cardiac contractility and heart rate, leading to rapid weak pulse, and tachypnea, increased respiratory rate with air hunger. And due to decreased cerebral perfusion, there is irritability to drowsiness. Due to decreased renal perfusion, there is oliguria. And take care that urine excretion is the index for whole tissue perfusion. Good tissue perfusion, good urine output. Poor tissue perfusion, oliguria. And there is pale, cold, clammy skin. Why there is pallor and coldness? Due to sympathetic overtone, there is vasoconstriction, of blood vessels of the skin, arterioles of the skin, leading to pallor and coldness. Why there is clammy? Clam means sweating, sweaty, because the nerve supply to sweat gland is sympathetic. Due to sympathetic overtone, there is excessive sweating. Finally, there is collapsed subcutaneous veins. For MCQ, take care. The earliest symptom is sense of weakness. Earliest symptom, sense of weakness. The earliest sign is mild tachycardia. Due to loss of blood, there is hypotension leading to stimulation of the vasomotor center, stimulation of sympathetic nervous system, leading to mild tachycardia. Early signs of hypovolemic shock. Early signs of hypovolemic shock is mild tachycardia, orthostatic hypotension during sitting or standing, anxiety, pallor, and sweating. These are earliest or early signs. The earliest symptom is sense of weakness, and the early sign, one sign, is mild tachycardia. Take care that urine output is the best index for tissue perfusion. What is the investigations needed for this patient? Before investigation, we should take care that if there is failure of shock the patient to respond to transfusion, you should suspect internal hemorrhage. Any shock the patient not respond to treatment and transfusion, usually there is internal loss, internal hemorrhage. How to estimate the blood loss in the patient? We should notice that the normal blood volume in 70 kilogram person is 70 milliliter per kilogram in adult and 80 milliliter per kilogram in children. We can estimate the blood loss, the size of a blood clot during operation. You will find example a blood clot in the form of closed fist. Blood clot in the size of the closed fist is roughly equal to 500 milliliter of blood. Hematoma of closed fracture tibia. There is about loss of 500 to 1,500 milliliter. In fracture femur, there is loss of blood in the tissue from 500 to 2,000 milliliter. In fracture pelvis, there is usually blood loss between 2 to 3 liters of blood, 2,000 to 3,000 milliliter. In the operating theater, we can calculate the blood loss by weighting the swabs before and after use. And 1 gram equal 1 milliliter of blood, plus the blood present in the suction bottle. In extensive operation, we should multiply the calculated amount. Multiply by 1.5 to 2. 1.5 to 2 to obtain the correct volume of blood loss. We can also estimate the blood loss from the clinical data, and We will take this in the next video. Thank you for good listening and good luck.